I'm picking up some spent brewer's grain. A friend of ours gets this grain for their farm animals and they're not able to pick up today, so we're just filling in for them this one day. I'm here at One World Brewing in Asheville, picking up this brewer's grain. We just got it loaded in my truck. I'm glad it's not a full load because the truck's sitting down pretty good. It's about 3/4 to half full. I actually have a little bit more play in these springs than when I've hauled round bales before, so, and a little gap there, so I feel good about that. I'm about to hit the interstate. I'm eating this awesome donut from this place in town, and it's like you literally order the donut and they drop it in the oil right there. That's the best way to eat a donut, where it was just made. Nothing sweeter smelling than fresh cut hay.
That's not for the baby.
I'm home. You want to come see these spent grain?
Yes.
The spent grain with me?
Want to know what I've been doing all day?
What's that?
Homeschool prep. Look at all my chamomile. I'm about to harvest some more. Look at these down here. Look at this one. Look at how many it produced on one thing. How are you gonna get it out?
I thought you said you were going to shovel it for me.
Shoot, it doesn't smell very good.
I think it smells good. It smells sweet.
Well, I mean, it doesn't smell rotten. It just wasn't the smell I was expecting. That's really cool. Is it dry? No, it's super wet.
Honestly, this is pretty much too much for us to use before it goes bad. This stuff is very wet and it'll go bad in this warm weather in probably about 3 days, maybe 5 days. We'll have to just watch it and see how it does. My idea, if we ever get our own steady supply of spent brewer's grain like this, is to use it as supplemental feed. And if we had a steady supply, I would buy a freezer to put it in, because you could bag it up in baggies and keep it and have like a 2 or 3 weeks supply. Let's throw some of this into the pigs and see how they like it.
I can't.
I'll get it. Well, not a big surprise. The pigs seem to like it, and that'll be a great supplement to their feed for the next couple days. That's about all I can fit in that freezer. Not a ton of freezer space right now. My idea here is to try to dry some of this out. It has no chance of drying out in this big IBC tank. So I'm spreading it out on a couple tarps.
Drying this out. I'm gonna make a sail. It's gonna be my boat.
We've got less than half now in this container. I'm trying to decide, should I leave it in the sun hoping it'll dry out, or put it in the shade so it'll be a couple degrees cooler. This is what I'll feed to the animals first, starting tomorrow morning. I'm calling it shade for now. We'll put it in the shade, keep it a couple degrees cooler. It's time to go up to the garden and check on these ducks. I'm gonna bring them a fresh supply of water this afternoon. I love having the ducks in the garden, and I'm sure they're eating some pests. I did end up spraying the beans with neem oil to try to eliminate as many of these Mexican bean beetle larvae as I could. And gosh, there's still a lot of them. We're not there yet, and the ducks have by no means come through and just eaten them all. Who knows, maybe ducks don't like Mexican bean beetle larvae. The ducks have been relatively non-destructive. Honestly, they've mostly hung out right over here. They have done some damage though. They're a little bit awkward. They kind of just walk through anything in their path. So they walk through the potatoes, they walk through the tomatoes. Most destructively, they've just walked through these onions. I guess they don't really see them as an obstruction to go around, and so they've knocked a lot of the tops down. This is new just since we put the ducks in here. That's not a real big deal because I was planning on pulling these onions, even though some of them are kind of small, like this one. Some of them are pretty good size, like this one right here. So I was planning on pulling out the onions and actually starting to plant our fall and winter crops. Starting to put in greens, probably putting in garlic. Folks, this has been another great day on the homestead. Nice day on the homestead.